All right, Friday, people.
Right on time.
Yep,
2 o'clock.
perfect time. I just take my time, cruise on over here, get some gas in the M2, and drop off some camera equipment, and we're live. So.
What was the project today? You still the closets?
Oh yeah,
Still?
yep, all week. It's been a lot of fun. You guys have probably been enjoying this week, having me not here disrupting anything.
It's been nice.
Yeah, I'm sure the people like it better when I'm MIA. Just out changing the world, you know. What can I say?
Somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Let's jump right in to our buddy Dan Pfeiffer is always checking in, but we have a super chat. 3 questions in here. Sweet Jazz 2007. I have a 2021 Tesla Model 3P. I really hate cleaning interiors. Do you have a go-to product to weekly clean the white seats? Butt wipes don't count.
Yeah, I mean, I just use. You can either use the cleaner from Color Lock, which is a vinyl cleaner, because it's not leather, it's vinyl. But what I generally do is just spray on a towel P&S interior cleaner and just wipe it off. And they usually wipe pretty clean. I have the white seats, and it'll wipe it clean. You do that once a week, and you're good to go. I do it like once a month, and it's still good. So you just vacuum it up and then spray on a towel, spray some interior cleaner on it, or directly on the seat, wipe it off. And then every once in a while do the Color Lock treatment, where you do the Color Lock cleaner on a brush with and then they have a protectant, a vinyl protectant that you can use as well. We have it in the store. It's a combination. So that's what I do to the Tesla, and it stays really nice. I mean, surprisingly, those white seats haven't gotten stained or damaged or any issues yet, so they're doing pretty well.
I was wondering, if you're wearing jeans, does that rub off on it or no? Can't tell.
I mean, I could, but then you just wipe it off. I mean, it's vinyl, so it shouldn't really dye transfer. You would, at least I haven't seen it happen.
Dylan Tarleton in the chat says he watched the podcast of you and Adam this morning. He enjoyed it very much. He appreciates you guys and everything you do. So I guess that's live. Where is that, on his channel?
I haven't watched it yet. He said he was going to put it up. He has a separate channel. What's it called? He told me what it was called. I forgot. Let's see. Adam LZ Podcast. Yeah, it's called The Scenic Route.
The Scenic Route Podcast with Adam LZ. 25.3 thousand subscribers.
Yeah.
So there you go. Look it up. If you haven't seen that yet, I haven't seen it. Who else?
I don't see me on there yet.
No, I don't see it either.
I see
Chelsea Dinifa.
Oh, maybe they put it up. They didn't put it up on YouTube yet. Maybe it's on Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dylan, let us know how you heard that. If you downloaded that. All right, let's see. MB says we need more day in the life vlogs and wash and talks. Those are the best. What's the next wash and talk? We have one on deck?
There are lots of day in the lives, at least once a week.
True.
I didn't do one this week. I'll make it up to you next week on Inside the Hex. But Inside the Hex we do all the time. I have another moving vlog coming up. You wouldn't believe it, but guess what they're doing at my house right now? Give you one guess. Something that I shouldn't have to do again.
We shouldn't have to do it again. I don't know. Does it involve the poo-poo tank again?
They're putting a new septic tank in right now. So we're out in fill dirt.
Oh, man.
I don't know if they're not charging me or what, but they're bringing in fill dirt to do my driveway, and they drove right over the septic tank and broke it in half. Yeah. So they're putting a brand new septic tank in like right now. They broke it like a couple hours ago. So, yeah, something I wasn't planning on doing. I'm like, finally got a house. I did a septic inspection. Everything's good, and I'm getting a new septic tank again. So I'll have a moving vlog here where I staked out where the driveway's going. So Danny's coming to grade the property, maybe either this weekend or this week. I'll capture some footage of that, and then the closets. Oh, the closets are magical. You got to come see them. They're even better than I thought. It's amazing.
All right, Dylan says the podcast is on the members only channel right now.
Oh,
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, MX says the same thing. LZ podcast is only up for his members right now. So he has a kind of behind the or inside the hex sort of thing.
It might be YouTube membership.
Channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Good question. I didn't ask him that. But we're gonna have to do more because we were an hour and a half in and haven't even gotten started yet.
Let's see. Brian Burst wants to know. He says, how many of the new Milwaukee DAs did you order, and how many have already been sold via pre-order? So I looked it up here. For the 15 millimeter, we have 5 that are the kit are sold, 6 that are tool only are sold. For the 21 millimeter, 1 that is the kit and 3 that is tool only have sold. I think we ordered, what, 10?
No, you got to pretend. We've sold 1,000 and 3,000, and you got to pretend like we're,
Well, I left the 0. That's negative. That's 50, 60, 10, and 30. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure when they're coming in. I think we said the reserve your spot email that went out today. They tell you more about that when that's coming in. Steve L says, when are you going to make a protective boot cover for the OG spec spray gun?
That's a good idea. We want that. It's on the long list.
It's on the long short list.
Yeah.
We have talked about that before. MB says it's time to get a haircut, Maddie.
It is. And to shave my face. I've been too, the obsession thing gets me. Like, I just want to do closets. I like to get things done. We're on our last 2 closets. It's pretty awesome. You guys wait till you see. And they're gonna have to be branded. We have to come up with a name for it, but they're gonna be branded something. Destination OG dog closets. So yeah, I have a call with the owners on April 19th, so next week, and we're gonna get this set up and figured out, and figure out how to get them to people and cut out all the fluff. I hate all the closet nonsense, and make it so that people know what they're getting into and know what they'd have to do to get it done. If they wanted to do it themselves, you certainly can. I mean, that's the key, is that you really could very easily do this yourself, and even if you have just moderate skills, and then figure out how to get it to people, drop ship it to them, or ship it to them as each order. But just wait and see. Like, everything is just, it's so good. The whole process is good. Everything's labeled and numbered and specific, and it's fantastic. And the guys the OG, the design crew, Kyle and Sean and Ed, will easily be able to design these things. And what I'm looking to do is cut out all the middleman fluff that all these closet companies have. And so I'm hoping, let's say something costs $10,000, we'd sell it for $15,000 and make a nice margin on it, and that $15,000 thing would cost you $40,000 if you were to buy it from one of these closet companies. So I think it's going to be a win for everybody.
Speaking of Destination OG, Wordy73 says, was the Destination OG house bought? What's the status on that?
No, I look every day. I'm not ready for it yet. So the plan is to build the house here. When that house gets, when I'm done with the major design and the major picking out of everything, then maybe we'll chase getting another property. I don't know if the banks are going to give me that much money. That's what we'll have to find out. If I can have a loan on the house I just bought, have a loan on the house I'm building, and have a loan on the first property, I think I could probably talk to some banks and have them, as long as there's a path to it. So, we'll see.
TJB says, hey, Matt, how do you like to keep your work schedule, to-do list, and email organized? I'm always looking for ways to improve.
I don't schedule anything, as you know. I don't like schedules. I don't like appointments on my calendar. So I spend a lot of time fighting against that and trying to cancel as much as I can. There's a podcast that's like a bunch of shorts from Naval. Go and listen to that. It's probably still up there. He doesn't do it anymore. But the Naval podcast, one of the things that really resonated with me is how he talked about how there's only certain amount of energy for for maximum creativity. And even if you are an analytical type person, it's hard to be creative, and at times you have to fight against distractions, and so he talks about how he spends most of his time focused on how he spends most of his time in that creative space, but in order to do that, you do have to maintain focus on battling distractions. And distractions are meetings. Everybody wants to meet. Everyone wants to talk, and you have to attempt to avoid that as much as possible. What was the other thing he was asking about?
Email organized.
Yeah, email is immediate. I'm on it all day, every day. Chris screens it a lot too. Eventually, I'll have some dedicated executive assistant where I'll only deal with certain emails, and so everything either gets deleted or saved where it needs to be saved to get out of my inbox. Right now, I probably have, because I haven't been doing much here today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 emails in my inbox, and so I just fight it all the time.
Let's see. Anel wants to know, hey, Matt, can we get the jumper hoses with the bin restrictors installed? I like the uniformity you talked about at the pressure washer giveaway install.
Yeah, I think from here on out, I think all of our jumpers have a bin restrictor on them. So if you order one from here, this point forward, they all have it.
Let's see. Brian Louderback in the chat says, just got a Tesla Model Y. Polish it and put ceramic coating on it. It's only been a couple months and I'm noticing micro swirl marks using microfiber towels. Is Tesla's paint just too soft?
No. In fact, a lot of times the harder the paint is, the easier it will scratch. I'm not saying the Tesla paint is hard, but yeah, it's just part of the game. I mean, that seems really quick to start seeing toweling marks, but that is part of it as you're washing. It could also be from your wash pad that what you could be seeing is just normal, wash-inducing swirls. Did he say what color it is? If it's black,
no, he did not say.
Yeah, I mean, if it's black, that's part of it. But that's the conundrum. That's the difficult part on this whole game, is trying to keep that out of the paint. And one thing, if you find that you're having a really difficult time, this is when a one bucket method might make sense, where you get extra pads and you try to wipe really, really, really gently. But that's one of the tough parts of certain paints tend to scratch easier than others.
All right, a couple of people asked this same question. This is from J Flynn 1000 on Instagram. Hey Matt and Chris, 2 questions for you this week. Do you still carry Meguiar's hyperdressing? I don't see it in the store anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, but right now they don't have an ETA, and Meguiar's doesn't because of silicone shortages. And so they just canceled our back order and said, we'll get back to you someday in the future. So, we're probably looking at 12 months from now or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's the right product. We just don't have any, and they don't have any. So that's the tricky part.
Well, he wants to know, as does Rob in the chat, have you compared Koshimi's Motorplast to hyperdressing?
It's not even close. I just did it the other day, like literally a couple days ago. Not even in the same ballpark. Motorplast isn't terrible, but it's not nearly as good. Motorplast is not a walk away product like hyperdressing largely is. And because I was thinking the same thing, I'm like, well, maybe we can just transition to that, but no, it's not as good.
All right, let's see here. Jeffrey Roberts says, yesterday's primer, washing the Raptor, was perfect. So lots of good feedback.
I think this is going to be a pretty good series where, I just break it down, go into some of the details, and we try to cut it a little bit tighter than normal. 35 minutes is still long, but I haven't watched it yet. But I think that I also don't make how-tos and haven't in the past. So this is more of a how-to. Here's how I do it. Here's how you should consider doing it. And I'm teaching somebody while I'm doing that. So make sure you check out that series as we launch those videos.
All right, so did you see this picture, by the way, in the OG group? That's what the next question is about.
Okay.
So this guy, Otis Redmond Jr., says, knocking out another wash on the Q60 while watching Matt for inspiration. The Mitsubishi/Train mini split is keeping the temps at bay. So loving my garage.
Nice.
So he's got his bucket set up. He's got, look at that. You love that. He's got a cooler with some Gatorade in there, some Sprite, paper towels, and he's watching us on the podcast.
Is that one of those new air? It's got to be. Yeah, he's got to get rid of that thing.
It's nice. So
yeah.
So then there was someone commented, Chris Haynes from Ocala, forget Matt, who's the handsome devil on the right? And so then now he's watching us again today. He says he's checking my smile count. He says I don't smile enough. So I'm at 1 now. Here's 2 for you. Let's see.
The fake ones count. I'll get you. Don't worry. I'll get you on something today.
Joe wants to know, do you tighten your bucket dollies super tight, or
No.
do you leave them loose and dump the water out when you're done?
Yeah, pretty loose. If you tighten it too tight, you'll get a crack in your bucket. Yeah, I just have it just enough so it's touching, so it's got some friction.
Brian says, hey, Matt, hope all is well, man. Congratulations on the CS fart machine. Do you plan on testing CarPro SIC? I use it on my M4, gives super slickness as a top coat.
I hadn't planned on it, but maybe I should check it out.
What is SIC? What is that?
It's just another CarPro, topper coating. It's a coating. I'm pretty sure it is. It's a, kind of like EXO would be.
All right. Here's a question. I know you'll answer pretty quickly from Z Gagne in the chat. What's the best washer dryer combo?
Yeah, Speed Queen. They're freaking hideous. Right? They're ugly as sin. But unfortunately, it's the best we've got. I intend to purchase like Speed Queens, like coin operated, professional, to see if maybe that would work as well. But you're talking $5,000-$6,000 per machine. So you want, I think it's the TC5 is the washer. Maybe that's the dryer. But so there's two washers. You want the old, like the throwback version. I believe that's the TC5. Is the proper Speed Queen to get, because there's the one with the prettier looking buttons. Unfortunately, you have to buy the really ugly one, the even uglier ugly one. The front,
that is pretty ugly.
Yeah, the front loader doesn't work. Or is it TR5? Yeah, see, that's the TR7. That one's the pretty one. You don't want the TR. No, yeah, you don't want the TR. That one doesn't have the same old school drum. You need the TC5, and then the washer or the dryer. They make one dryer to match.
Gotcha.
Yeah, look at that thing. It's brutal.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Chris wants to know, Chris Robles. Just curious, why did the price of the Krenz pressure washers increase?
Welcome to 2022, bro.
Because we got an email saying the price needs to go up.
The price on everything in your life will increase.
Yeah. That's why part of the reason we have reserve your spot. You can lock in your price. We had 50 plus K1122s go out this week.
This is the simple economic, phenomenon of too many dollars chasing too few goods, combined with the perfect storm of a sort of a labor shortage, which somehow magically happened, combined with governments incentivizing unemployment and things like that. And you have a perfect storm for a disaster of price increase. And those that are saying, well, this is just a bubble, inflation historically, once things inflate, they don't generally deflate. So the prices we now experience are the new price. And then what you would hope is that, wages eventually would follow suit.
Let's see. Your new friend here in the chat, Bruce Hunt, says, hey, Maddie. Sorry about the national semifinals. Your Nova team has been destroying my Jayhawks for a while now. I'm just getting into dialing in my garage and really appreciate the detailing video yesterday.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's fine. I feel good about it. I feel like it was an accomplished season, when our best player, I think our best player went down, and it was, we didn't have a chance.
Brian Louderback, the Tesla guy, he says that the paint is blue.
So it's dark still, which is going to show more.
Let's see. Folks out there, Brian says, I absolutely love the OG home stuff. Are you going to make a separate YouTube channel and or website for that stuff?
I don't think we're going to make a separate channel, but we're going to make a separate site. So there will be a Destination OG section on the Obsessed Garage channel. I don't have the energy to do multiple channels, and I don't really foresee I don't see the benefit to that. We do enough car content, enough garage stuff to where it will just be a supplement, and so there will be Destination OG playlists that are part of the Obsessed Garage Greater channel. But we will have a different website, and those websites will communicate back and forth really nicely. The only thing I'm not sure of is that you would be able to go to Destination Obsessed Garage. I don't know if we can build a common cart, where you would add things. So that's something that I just thought of right this minute that I'm going to go talk to Brad and Bryce about and get them all bent out of shape. Can we create a common cart across multiple parts of the business?
Let's see. Robert wants to know, going back to closets for just a second, would the closet solution work for a pantry?
Yeah, it could. I mean, I don't see why not. Shoot, I might as well think about ripping out my pantry. That's great. Yeah. Yes.
Good job, Robert. Now we'll find out.
Yeah, you'll see. I mean, it's just fantastic. In comparison to what's available, it's so much simpler. They keep it simple in number of colors, number of choices of the modular units, and then the numbering system when they send it to you, it's just idiot proof. The only parts that require a little bit of thought are shimming the walls if your walls aren't plumb, which most walls aren't. And then the other part where I made a mistake is I made it really tight. Like we had to cut some drywall and cut a bunch of baseboard, so it'd be even easier if you just shave it 3-4 inches and make it fit a little bit less tightly. Your install would be easier. The only part that requires a little bit of skill is leveling the drawers, mounting the drawer faces, which we show you how to do that with just some cardboard spacers. It's really quite easy. It's awesome.
All right, going back to your mortgage plans here. MX304 says a lot of lenders cap mortgages at 5, but Fannie Mae allows up to 10 conventional mortgages at once. You just have to find a good lender. Mm-hmm. There you go. Our buddy Travis in Louisiana says, hey guys, Matt, have you ever thought about becoming a tire dealer, Michelin or otherwise?
Yeah, I have. I just don't know that I could convince them because I don't really want to sell tires on the site and stock tires. I would just want to be able to buy them. So I think I'd probably be better off just buying them and just eating it. I've got 4 sets of Michelin sitting over there right now, new. So I don't know that that's something I'd do.
MCropper03 has a compliment for you. He says, just finished coating my new truck with CSL and EXO. Now listening to the podcast and denibbing my tires.
That's nice.
Thanks for making the process so easy with the videos. There you go. Timothy wants to know, hey Matt, which tire dressing would you recommend for a long-lasting new look?
There's no such thing.
I don't think the long-lasting thing
doesn't exist. You can try, those coatings and things like that just don't work. So you just have to do it once a week or so or more if you want it to be long-lasting. You have to keep applying it.
Let's see. Ryan wants to know, hey, what's holding up the bucket package currently? Currently, Ryan, nothing. We have a bunch of them out there going out the door, so if you're waiting on one of those, hopefully that's coming out to you today. Let's see. Randy says, my new direct drive garage door opener just showed up. Mm-hmm. Thanks so much for the idea and install video. This wasn't even on my radar until your video, and then it became a must-have.
Love creating solutions to problems that people didn't even know they had. So I'd really like to be able to sell those and provide them to people. That's a goal.
Alfonso wants to know, hey, Matt, I'm curious on your reasoning for selecting the M2 CS. What made you pick that versus the M2 Comp?
It wasn't really wild about either one of them, because of the S55. But with Active's introduction and their sort of patent on equal length and equal length mid pipe, it makes it much more interesting to me to, I can at least make it sound. You can't really get rid of the fart, the overrun. But you can get rid of most of the improper poor sound, and so I'm kind of excited to chase that. I don't want to own an M2 long term. I don't think, but I would like to have one for 6 or 8 months and get to put all the parts on it and play with it. And so I thought an M2 CS now is I think a good time to get one because they're starting to rise pretty substantially in price. I think that they may continue to get a little bit more expensive, and so I'm like, well, if I get one, and with the success of the M3 giveaway, I think we could pull it off to where I could, get out of this one, have a fun giveaway, and somebody would really like that car, and so I chose the CS because I just think it looks cooler, and the CS has the option for carbon ceramic stock. Which I didn't get, but it has all the M3 brake components, so I don't have to swap the booster and the brake booster and things like that. Or the brake master cylinder, and so I can just swap over to carbon ceramics. And so that's another video that I've always been excited to do, is to do a carbon ceramic swap. And so we're going to do that on this car.
Lee Martinez wants to know, oh man, where'd it go? There it is. I noticed the Source Garage wheel stands are available in the store. Should I get the fixed base or the spinning base first?
I think you should probably do fixed. I'm going to test it out here this coming week where I have the thing here. I took one look at it and knew that it needed to be in the store. I haven't made my determination of which one I like the best, where you have the fixed or the spinning, or you have the back piece or not. And so I'm gonna determine all that here in the next couple of weeks because I've got 3 sets of wheels to do over there right now, and so I'll let you know what I come up with there.
Jake Angelo is finishing out his detached garage. He wants to know, should I closed cell the cavities underneath the roof and Rockwool the ceiling cavities, or just one or the other?
I don't think you would need to Rockwool unless you're trying to soundproof. So what I would do is to just do closed cell. So I do 4 to 6 inches of closed cell on the roof sheathing, and then make sure you condition the attic space, and then call it a day. So I don't think you would need to do both unless, again, you're trying to soundproof it and keep or at least aid in sound absorption. That's what I'm planning to do in mine.
All right, El Jefe here ran into a problem. See if you can help him out. He's having an odd thing happen after he coated with CSL a few weeks back. All the vertical panels are perfect. However, the trunk, top, and hood have no water beading. Super odd. I'm going to strip both and redo with a more aggressive cutting pad and polish and start over. Strange that all panels were great except the trunk and hood.
That is weird. I mean, maybe was he doing it in the sun? I suspect not. He probably would have mentioned that. Did he? Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Brady Odette says, will there be a link from the main OG site to Destination OG and vice versa?
Yes. It'll be sort of banner image. There will be a bannered, and or whatever menu bar connection to it. I think we're going to make it really awesome, where it makes a lot of sense. And then who knows what else that leads into in the future, whatever other cockamamie schemes I come up with. But yes, it will be very distinct. The whole team over there is working on this, little by little every day. And, we're going to have drawer organization. We're going to have lighting. We're going to have lighting control. We'll have closets. We'll have outdoor kitchen cabinets. We'll have outdoor kitchen. I'm now an Evo dealer. If you need an Evo, hit me up. If you're going to buy an Evo, it'd be really helpful. Buy it from me. So Evos are coming to the store. And I'm working on Heston. They didn't call me back, so it's not a good sign. So I'm going to have to start pitching. But Destination OG is going to take off, and I think it'll do really well because I just know how people want to buy stuff, and it's freaking annoying the way that we have to do it now. Doesn't matter how much money you got; it's just the way they have it set up is stupid.
All right, our buddy Martin from Alligator Window Tint, going back to the tire dressing. He says, CarPro tire coating looks blotchy on big tires. Big truck tires, but also did not last long at all for what it cost.
Yeah. Versus
the application process, spray-on, or applicator.
Yeah, I have a sample of it, and even Corey from CarPro said, you're not going to like this. It's a good try, a good attempt, but yeah, it doesn't really work.
Let's see. Dan Past 12 says, thoughts on connecting the garage door to Wi-Fi, Apple HomeKit specifically.
I see. Everybody keeps talking about this, so I didn't do the lights on my garage door, which supposedly have the Wi-Fi module. But I have the MyQ app, and then I can open my garage door right now. And I made the mistake of setting it up to where the Amazon people can open my door, so I have to go delete that somehow. I just was following the prompts when I was setting it up. I don't want Amazon in my garage. So I mean, I think I'm connected to Wi-Fi without, but I mean, I can open the garage door right now. I would think I would have to be. Yeah, I would have to be. So I'm connected to my network. So yeah, I think it's okay, I guess. Although I'm still just using the garage door opener, so.
Hasten wants to know, will Hex membership discount applies to Destination OG products as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yep. Yes.
All right, let's see. We got some good praise here from Hayden on Instagram. Sent Jeff a DM about an order that had gotten misplaced this morning. He instantly responded and got it out in the outgoing queue for today. OG has the world's best customer service, and I'll stand by that. Thank you, Jeff.
Well, nice. I don't know about all that, the best, but if, we're pretty darn good at just doing what's right,
Yeah.
you know.
If we can fix it, we'll fix it.
Yeah. And then, and hopefully all your interactions with all the people are, they're people just like you. We're all like-minded. So let's just have an intelligent conversation. And I had some freaking guy sent back a, beautiful, almost perfect Mosmatic gun.
Yeah.
It had like a little baby scratch on the post of the coupler, and he sent it back saying, "This is unacceptable. This is not perfection." Well, you're shopping in the wrong place, because nothing we do is perfection. So, sorry, because nothing exists that's perfect. So, we're in the wrong place here. We're in the wrong relationship. If that's the way it's going to go, and I'm not doing that.
All right, let's see. And Brian is a big fan of your plan here. Excuse me. Just tell me what to buy, Maddie. I don't have time to waste choosing between too many options. That's good.
Yeah, and even when I buy something, there may still be something better out there, like these closets, and who knows, maybe there's something better than what I'm finding here. But as of right now, this is the best of what I know. And if I'm excited about something, that there's a, other than that one guy with the one gun, like 99.999% of people are going to also be very accepting and very it's going to be to standard, good enough, for in most cases way beyond good enough.
NKD_KC on Instagram says, "Are we planning to paint the home garage soon? And will Viper fans be installed as well?" Did that happen yet? It's supposed to happen.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So no, they haven't been installed, but yes, we'll be installing them, and yes, we'll be painting the whole darn place. I'm waiting for, so my painters are fantastic, but Jeff, who's the dad, who's sort of semi-retired, I requested that he come because he's just so meticulous, and I want to repair all the walls and doors and all of that. And so if he's running the project, like he did our first house, like with where we converted all the yellow wood to gray, and just made sure everything was perfection. And so I want that again. And so we talked Jeff into it, but Jeff had neck surgery, so we're just waiting for him to get back on his feet so he can come out and help his crew and make it awesome.
Funny comment here from Sonny in the chat. I accidentally ordered 5 gallons of brake versus the 1 gallon.
Yeah.
Seems like a lifetime supply, LOL.
Yeah, if you're using the foam can, you'll roll through it reasonably fast. But yeah, by the time you're breaking into your second or third gallon, I'll probably find something different and you'll be screwed. It's cheap enough, though. So, yeah. Well.
All right, Redmond05 says, "Any suggestions once I run out of hyperdressing? Do I dare grab Armor All?"
No.
What do we have, Pearl?
Yeah, you could do Pearl, or you could do Coach Chemi Motor Plast, which will hold you over. But yeah, hopefully we'll have it before that happens for everybody.
Stint Placer says, "Great videos on Ryan and Billy. They are legit. The Chronicles of the Masters."
Yeah. I'm planning on doing one with Barry from 3DM Motorsport, who makes all the Olin stuff. When he comes down here soon, I want to make one with him. We have a Martin's episode. So Martin would admit this. He's not a master yet. He hasn't been doing it for 25 years. But the I don't know what we're going to title it, but we did a similar video with Martin, who does all the tinting from Alligator Window Tint, and I'll come up with some others that are going to be fun to work with here. We should probably have Mike do one.
Let's see. Trera CP says, "When is Matt going to pick up a diesel truck?"
I don't know. Maybe someday. I'm probably going to have to get one at some point to tow things.
Grant in the chat says, "Can you visit OGHQ and purchase/pick up your order there?"
Sure.
Definitely. We had 2 guys stop in yesterday, Kyle and Kevin, I think was his dad, yeah. They visited from St. Pete. So, yeah, come on by anytime. We're here 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday.
Ooh, I got some water in here. I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
This is good.
You're going to like that water, too, because I got it right before. So it's nice and cold. It's not that tepid, whatever, nasty water you had sitting there for weeks. All right, let's see. Oh, man, you're really thirsty.
I don't sip, Chris. Sipping's for babies.
David here in the chat says, "I've tried Koch Motorplast as the hyperdressing is not shipping. I found good results with the motor plats. Are you going to carry it in the store?"
Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's just not as good. So I don't love it.
All right. WNIK on Instagram says CSL and EXO versus Deluxe and Gliss on texturized plastic trim.
Mm-hmm.
I've used CSL EXO in the past and was happy with the look.
Yeah, I mean, I just did Gliss and EXO or Deluxe Gliss the other day on like all the M3 parts. They look pretty similar on the paint, on the texture, on the plastic. I think EXO is probably the secret weapon though. So I think that's the move.
All right, Justin says the active pressure washer channel said the version 2.0 is coming in June/July of this year.
Yep.
What do you know about that machine?
I'm sure we know something. I don't. Tommy probably knows. I don't. Not sure.
They sent us pictures. Different color. Looks like a spaceship, kind of.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find out more here soon.
Let's see. Dylan wants to know, did you guys ever decide when the skate decks with all the illustrations are going to be available? Definitely interested in a few.
I would
working
probably
on that
say,
right now.
yeah, it's probably 3 or 4 months
Yeah.
before we see them. You know, because even if we order them, we've got to get them and wait for them and all that.
Yeah. Months, not weeks. Joe wants to know, what do you do with your wash mitts when you're done? Do you rinse in the sink and let them dry?
No, I wash them in the washer and then dry them in the dryer. That way it shakes out everything in the dryer. So, yeah, wash them with your microfiber towels and throw them in the dryer with microfiber towels. And just dry on delicate so you don't get it up to too high of a temp.
Let's see here. Joe L., different Joe, says, are you going to stop using the Tough Shine brush and only go with the Detail Factory brush?
Yeah, yep.
I don't know if this is something you like. Lee says Toyota just announced they'll be making a manual Supra.
Well, I mean, I kind
Touch on
of
the
have
Supra.
it in an M2. So, yeah.
John wants to know if there are any plans for another open house sometime this fall.
Yeah.
Not yet. We had one last July.
Yeah, I think fall would
I
probably
don't
be a good time to do it. We'll see where the warehouse is by then. But yeah, I'd like to have another one soon.
Let's see. B. Ladderback on Instagram, our buddy Brian again. How do you like the new Viper Low Pro compared to the robust Steel Pro that you use in all your wash and talks?
I haven't spent much time on the Low Pro yet, so give me a little more time to. Actually, I haven't even built mine yet, other than the few minutes I spent with, on it when Alex brought it by. So I think I'll probably need a few months to make that assessment.
All right, let's see here. Here's a good question from K. Wood Dad. Hey, Matt, do you have as much fun and enthusiasm now as you did when you first started the chase for products and processes?
Oh, yeah, way more fun now. Like, because, it happens quicker and bigger and better. And, oh, man, I'm just living the dream. So much fun.
All right. Hey, Matt and Chris, happy Friday. I have a new truck on order that'll hopefully arrive within a few months. This is our buddy Lamar Raxon. I've only had sports cars before, so my knowledge on truck tires is slim to none. Planning on doing some truck TE37s like on Michelle's Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a go-to off-road tire that you recommend?
Mm-hmm.
And also, where's the best place to buy TEs?
So first problem is, like, the black TEs are already ruined. Like, the finish is so delicate that, like, it's already stained and you can't polish it. The coating is pretty much already failed. And they've only been on the truck for, 3,000 or 4,000 miles. So I certainly don't get the black ones. I don't know how good the bronze ones are, but really frustrating to see them just destroyed already. What I have on the truck now are Falcon Wild Peaks. So I think when you're doing truck tires, just don't buy mud terrains. You don't buy MT tires. Buy ATs, all terrains, because all terrains will work much better on the street. And my favorite on a truck are a BFG, BF Goodrich KO2s, but they didn't have those in 37 by 12.5 that I needed for the Raptor, and so I wanted to get the Toyo, their all-terrain version. I forget. There's like Open Country AT3 or something like that. So I think you want either Toyos or, believe it or not, those Falcon Wild Peaks are amazing. So KO2s, Wild Peaks, or whatever, Open Countries.
And if he does want to go get TEs, where's the best place?
I got him from what's it called? He's like BN underscore. Let's see. Yeah, bn.vita on
Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram. I forget what his company is called.
While you're looking that up.
Yeah.
Grant Wade says, any idea on when the AR 630 TSS is going to be available again? Late April, early May is what we have now. And actually, we just added this week. I don't know if you've seen this yet. So now on the product page, we have a shipping ETA if it's out of stock. Reserve your spot. It'll pop up right here and tell you late April, early May, or whatever we updated.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's smart.
They did well with that. Pretty cool. Super chat from Improved Garage, $9.99 US. I'm behind. Maybe this was asked already. If I ordered a K1322 today, when do you think it would arrive? I know there are no guarantees.
So where do you think we're getting up to on this current shipment? Do you have any idea?
I know that the 50 we shipped out were 1122s this week, and those orders were from late October, early November.
Okay. But the 1322s aren't
right.
Will fill more.
They're not as
those.
Bad, right?
So
look, I can probably find that out.
I would think that you're probably looking at late summer. 3-4 months.
Yeah, there are a lot that people are, and we have 113 people who are signed up to get an email if and when they ever actually do come all the way back in stock,
which isn't going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah. So all that to say, you're months out, not weeks, but as soon as we can possibly get it to you. Here's a good question for you I think you'll enjoy. Or maybe I should answer this one. From Chandler Ross on Instagram. You've been clear about the financial piece of working at OG. But what are some of the unspoken benefits? After-hours wash bay use? First crack at Maddie's fire sale offers? Free samples? Drive the Porsche? Nothing? What are the unspoken cool fringe benefits of working at OG?
Yeah, I mean, I do give a lot of stuff away, and obviously I don't give it to even I'm taking lights out of the house. We just bring them here and divvy them up. Whoever wants stuff. I don't like free T-shirts. Lots of free T-shirts. Lots of free keychains and tchotchkes and all that kind of stuff. I prefer people I don't want a free for all on my wash bay crap. So occasionally someone will use it, but. I'm not super wild about that. But sometimes some guys might throw a car in the lift or something here and there if needed. I changed Manny's tires the other day. That was a pretty good benefit, I think. So we got to play with the machine together and mount and balance his tires to spec. And I think there's something to be said about being able to chase your passion, and then hopefully at some point, not only you're chasing passion, but maybe you're making more than what you would have elsewhere doing some other gig. That would be the long-term goal. But yeah, I mean, and I think it depends per individual. What do they want, from this gig, and yeah, I think. I think some of the other things that we do that most companies don't, especially new companies, is you're fully covered. You walk in the door, you have health benefits, you have for whatever insurance benefits you want, you have 401k participation and match. So it's like a real company, but even then, most real companies have 90-day elimination periods and 1 year elimination periods where they don't match your 401k until you're here for a year and things like that. We're going to be implementing a company-wide, bonus pool or bonus structure here that'll pay out later this year, which will be sort of like a profit share. And then I'd like to hope to think that you get to benefit from my life experience, and then the life experience of all the people that are here and just hanging around here. It's hopefully pretty lucrative long term from a knowledge pursuit perspective.
Yeah, but no driving the Porsche, Chandler. So don't get your hopes up if you want to come work here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Jeff, our own Jeff, updated that last question. 1322 TSs, the ones that are going out, were from Black Friday. So what's that, 5 months? Yeah, so 5 months if it's the same wait period.
But I don't think it'll be the same wait period. I think they're going to catch up quicker than they have than the bombardment of just getting hit with a supply chain crunch. And so hopefully, again, I'm guessing it'll be half that time.
Jeff Johnson, our Nike buddy, says at 1 year of employment, everyone gets to pick one pair of shoes from Matt's shoe closet.
No one here wears the same size as me, so
I wish I did.
Yeah, it'd be a good deal for you. Although now I got a bunch more shoe shelves, so I got to fill those up.
Oh no. That's fine. All right, let's see. Dan past 12. Do pressure washers self-cool, i.e. the water flow, making it okay to build a foam enclosure around it?
Yes. So heat dissipates via the water transfer. One of the reasons why most pumps are horizontal is because of that. Because the allowing heat to sort of rise away from the pump head instead of all the electric motor rising up through the pump head. And so that's the oil cooling is one of the reasons why they're horizontal. So yeah, you should be able to put an enclosure. Shouldn't matter.
Let's see here. Joe L says, "Hey Matt, what do you think of replacing the rod bearings on 2008 M3? Car has 33,000 miles and does not use
I wouldn't
on
do
track. Heard a lot of people say they wear out.
Yeah, well, everything wears out, so I wouldn't do it. Not 33,000 miles. Now, an '08 is the most problematic car, but I don't think I would do it. Yeah, I'd probably wait till you got to 60 or 70,000 miles before I would worry about doing that. And I guarantee you, taking it out of every car, you take it out of my 800-mile car, there's probably going to be some scoring and some marks on my rod bearings. But there'd also be on the cylinder heads. There'd be on the cylinder walls, on the crankshaft, on the the valves, the springs. Everything's going to have some wear on it. That's how an engine works. Now the tolerances are really tight, and that's part of the reason why the rod bearings wear out, or wear in. But I just think it's a bunch to do about nothing, and it's a great service for most BMW main service providers to do. It's expensive service, and so of course they're going to do it. And it's one of those things that everybody thinks that you need to do it, and so what's the harm in charging everybody $3,500 to swap their rod bearings that probably don't need to be swapped? But what do I know?
Do you wear waterproof shoes when you wash cars? I saw you had a Pegasus on during recent videos.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I kind of like that, where it keeps my toes from getting all wet. So I'm using like the Nike Pegasus, whatever they're called, outdoor or all-weather or something like that. And then I have a Gore-Tex pair. So yeah, it's nice to do that. Keeps your feet from getting all soggy.
Let's see. Morgan says he's on his second set of Nitto Terra Grappler G2s. They're quiet.
Oh, yeah, the Nittos, too. I forgot about those. Those are supposed to be great. Pretty much all of them are good. All the major brand truck tires and all-terrains are great.
Kevin Nickens wants to know, what would you recommend as good computer speakers / studio monitors for less than the $1,000 of the LYD5? Which ones are those?
Those are LYD5s.
Okay.
I think they're $800 a pair, aren't they?
Let's see.
The problem is that you need you need the interface. They're $1,000 a piece. Yeah.
Single, $500 a piece. $500 a piece for $1,000 for the pair.
Another good set of speakers that I liked a lot were the Audio Engine stuff. Audio Engine A5 Pluses are like $600, and you don't need any You don't need any interface with those. So check those out. Soft Dome Tweeter, nice low frequency response. They have a subwoofer too if you wanted to go down that route in the future. But the Audio Engines are really nice.
Let's see. Matt, will you add a Milwaukee M18 inflator package with the battery and battery charger on your website?
They don't make that currently. It's only tool only. So hopefully, I'm sure they probably will. I'm going to recommend that they do. But right now they don't have one.
Aaron says he recently purchased a BMW 328D wagon as a daily. Has a couple scratches on the interior glass. Any suggestions on how to remove these?
He said scratches on the interior glass?
Couple scratches on the interior glass.
Yeah, you're screwed, man. The only way to fix that is to replace it. Once glass scratches, it's nearly impossible to fix.
My WRX channel says, do you think the S55 crank hub issue is overblown?
Yes.
P.S. I want your TEs.
Yeah. I'm gonna. TEs will be leaving here shortly. Yeah, I think crank hub's a bunch of nonsense too. I mean, yes, if you're pushing big horsepower and driving like an idiot, you're gonna need to replace the crank hub. But yeah, I think it largely is another one of those things that you probably don't need to mess with.
All right, Yokin says, why doesn't Maddie wear a wedding ring?
My finger got too fat. Like I guess my hands grew or expanded, and then I just stopped putting it on.
Because you had like a gold band, right?
Yeah, I have a white gold, or maybe it's platinum. I don't know what it is. I think it's white gold. I think it was too cheap back then. And Michelle doesn't care, so I don't want to. I could take it off all the time, and so I just don't do it.
Another suggestion here agrees with you. Replace the glass on the interior. Yeah. Alex wants to know: can Matt rant about restaurants he thinks are white trash fancy?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I think Texas Roadhouse is one of them. He agrees with you on that, Alex, for sure.
Gross! It's like vomit food. So last night, Mike and I were starving. We worked on closets all day, didn't eat lunch. Then we went to the Corvette Club meeting and got trapped, because I brought all my stuff, put on a table, and I presented and telling them about polishing and what that entails and what it costs, and how you would do that if you can do it yourself versus paying someone. And then I sat down and they had to do they did the raffle, and then they did the potluck, and then they did the next drive that they're doing, and they're just going on and on, and, from transferring the mic from one person to the next. And so Mike was just dying out there, ready to eat his arm off, and I'm just kind of sitting there waiting. And then we went to the Villages,
Brownwood, right?
Into Brownwood, and there just aren't any good restaurants around here. So we go to the fanciest restaurant they got, and just ate some just mediocre stuff. Like, I pretty much guarantee that the rolls that they had and were like the Sam's Club, like Mrs. T's or whatever Michelle gets for the kids. It's like the little butter roll. They're like the exact same thing Michelle gets from Sam's Club. So I guarantee you they go to Sam's Club and buy the Sam's Choice meats. And so we're at this, everybody there thinks this is like the fanciest joint ever, and we're just like miserable, wishing there was a Roots Chris here. But yeah, all of the weird, the vomit places, Applebee's, TGI Fridays, RJ Gators, all of those places that are like they have the bar, the ale houses, just it's all white trash, all disgusting. Chili's, just any of them, any and all of them. I refuse to go to any of them. If you go there, it's just terrible vomit, and people love that crap. Yeah, you don't want to go there. Olive Garden, Red Lobster, the only Darden chain restaurant that I like is Bonefish.
I was going to say, on the gift cards, I know there's 3 or 4 choices there. Bonefish.
Yeah, but they are Red Lobster, Olive Garden. You remember There's Smoky Bones?
Oh yeah,
that place was pretty good. I thought. I bet you I would hate it now, because I used to the Texas Roadhouse used to think, like, man, you see the steaks, when you walk in, like in the little cooler there, and then they give you the rolls, and you get the puke salad, and so Ryan and I went there like a couple of years ago, and even he's like, this is gross. So that poor kid is never gonna get the years of acceptance of vomit food. But yeah, that place is terrible.
What about Outback?
I think Outback is okay. An Outback steak is terrible, but a bloomin' onion's delicious. Their cheese fries are delicious, and you can kind of pull it off with like a burger there. It's okay. Outback is decent, not my favorite, but yeah, I pretty much become a snob unless it's one thing I get sucked into watching the Eater, EATR channel. You should check some of those out, where they like interview like Michelin star. I'd love to tour around and like go to like Michelin 5-star or whatever there are, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star restaurants. I think that will be really cool to go and eat some of these delicious things that they make.
There you go, Alex. Hope you're happy with that. That was like a little mini rant. Are there any changes to Matt's overall routine when it comes to washing cars, I guess, during pollen season?
No, just make sure you do not do any kind of, I don't do any rinseless or waterless stuff. You got to spray it down, get that stuff off. If you look at pollen under a microscope, it's like a bunch of Chinese stars all taped together. It's just rolling around on your paint, scratching the crap out of anything and everything it touches.
Scott Taylor wants to know, do you have any advice on daily/deep cleaning a quartz worktop?
If it's a worktop, I think it would get damaged but in your countertops, like in your house, I just clean it with invisible glass. I don't feel like you need to deep clean. And then I think quartz needs to be sealed every now and then. I haven't had a house long enough to have to do that.
That's one added benefit I should add here, because I discovered this recently of working at OG, because I handle all the invoices, so I see what things cost at the house. And then recently we got new cabinets and we got new countertops. And all of a sudden my invoices, a year or two ago, I would have said, man, this is crazy expensive. But now after seeing all yours, I'm like, man, this is cheap. We're getting off easy. So that's been good for me.
Yeah, the difference is I get to turn it around and make money off of it most of the time.
Yeah, I'm stuck with mine.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a tough thing.
Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you from Alex. He said, thank you, Matt. My favorite thing is your take on my trash fancy. $4.99 US.
What was Mike and I were talking about this the other day. Like, I'm allowed to say this because I was this. I was born into white trash fancy. And so I can say all that I want because I've experienced it and I understand it. Like at the, when you go to the Corvette Club meeting, like everything to deal with Corvettes is white trash fancy. But I feel comfortable at home in it. I just choose not to participate in it because I understand it so well. And the only way you can understand it so well is if you grew up in it, you were immersed in it. The entire city of Hazleton, Pennsylvania is white trash, and then there's a little bit of fancy in there. A Red Lobster would be like an event. So we didn't go out to eat, other than maybe an occasional Wendy's trip, which I can't eat that now. It's terrible. It's just awful. So, yeah. I'm glad that you appreciate my my take on this rather insulting term of being. And that's why I think people they think it's funny, because it's real. It's true. Some of the truth in it is sometimes hard to swallow, but it's the real. And I have plenty of experience in it and can go deep into these topics because of that experience.
Grant asks a question here, or actually tells us, sorry. PDQ and Huey Magoo's are the best hands down for a quick chicken. We do have a Huey Magoo's now like half a mile away.
Yeah, I don't mind them. Huey Magoo's or whatever is like, it's extremely unhealthy, you can tell.
Oh, yeah. It is good.
PDQ, you have the opportunity to eat something reasonable, but like they just take Chick-fil-A and they just hop it up a bit, and make it a little bit more unhealthy, a little more batter, a little more taste, a little more salt, a little more delicious.
All right, so Grant, he's the one who was asking about coming to visit, so I just looked up to see where he lives here. He lives in Dover, Florida. You know where that is?
No.
I never heard of that either.
Dover, Delaware.
Oh, it's east of Tampa.
Oh, yeah, that's only like an hour and a half away.
Yeah, come on up, Grant. Halfway between Plant City and Tampa-ish. Let's see. This is from Spoonfed Films on Instagram. Hey, Matt, I'd love to hear more about your natural progression from the F80 into the 911. I'm currently in that same position, and after just 6 months of ownership, I want to begin planning my next endeavor, my first 991 911. This is my second M3, and I've always fancied the 991 platform. Thanks for all your insight over the years.
Yeah, let's see. When I got the 911, I had S4, and so I traded my M3 for the 911, which, as you know, I've come back to the M3, and once I felt comfortable financially in order to have both. And so what I did was I traded my E92 in for the 911, got the 911, traded the 911 for the GT3 shortly after that, like 6 or 7 months later, and I traded my S4 in for an F80 M3. So that was but many cars leading up to that, and Hondas, so the Honda route and into that next step of 911 GT3 territory. But especially if you do a 991, the F80 will feel very digital, very soulless in comparison. If you do a 991.1 variant that's naturally aspirated, so I think that would be you'll have a really fantastic time with that transition. But I think you have to go Carrera S. I think you skip over the Carrera. You have to go Carrera S.
My WRX channel says, how's the carnivore diet coming? I'm 1 week in and the cravings are absolutely insane. I would murder a box of zebra cakes right now.
Yeah, not going well for me. I keep eating too many delicious treats in large quantity. I need to get my life together.
And then Manny chimed in, our Manny here, because he's doing the carnivore diet. He says, it's going to get worse, a lot worse, but then you'll get a whole lot better. Trust the science.
Yeah, when I was, did January, I felt fantastic. I need to just stop. Stay on track.
Let's see. Our own Obsessed Garage in the chat here says, Yarn Building loves Magoo's. They get that fairly often. PDQ or Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A, easy.
Yeah, I think Chick-fil-A.
Neil says the Popeyes chicken sandwich, which that's up for debate.
Yeah, I've never eaten there. Probably never will. It sounds gross.
You might like the chicken sandwich. Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't.
That sounds gross to me.
All right. Ooh, this is all the questions I have. This is excellent. Keep them coming, though, in the chat. We need some more questions. Just a couple more. Let me scroll back up to this one. Would Matt ever be interested in doing a Factory 5 Cobra build?
No.
I don't know what that is.
Factory 5 is a aftermarket,
Oh, like the old school Cobra.
Yeah, no.
Dylan wants to know, did you ever end up getting any Corvette neon signs?
I did not. And I will not.
Matt, do you plan on going to Formula One in Miami?
No, definitely not. I don't understand what you guys are so excited about that.
Is that a new thing that they're coming to Miami?
I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care. It's like I just don't understand. It's a freaking pointless. You got 3 dudes are the only ones that have any chance of winning, and that's why they were so excited last year because what's his face won. Vettel, or no, was it Vettel? Max Verstappen won over Lewis Hamilton, and it's like the Ferrari team and the Mercedes team have so much more money, like 100 times more money than anybody else. They have no chance. And so it was a big deal that somebody with no chance finally won. And it's just, the whole thing is just boring as watching. I try all the time. I'm like, oh man, let me see this. And they have this pre-race nonsense and all this stuff, and then they just kind of go around and like, what's the point? It's boring as crap to me. I don't know, but that's how some people think when they watch football. I think about that as baseball. I think it's boring as crap. But people like what they like, and I just don't. It doesn't register. Doesn't work with me. And there's no racing that works with me. The 24 hours of Daytona or Le Mans is just not interesting to me. I try to watch it, but I just get bored and I'm out in like 30 seconds. Kind of like golf too. Like I appreciate and understand golf. It's a great napping material, but I just don't have much interest in it. I'm such a concentrated and overly abundant and passion type of human that there's only so much room anyway, I think.
Let's see here. Jester wants to know, Matt, have you checked out 3200K lighting versus 3500K during your adventures?
Well, yeah, I mean that'd be great. You just can't get a full suite of lights. I mean, it's hard enough to find 3500, let alone 3200. And color transitioning lights are terrible. None of them are any good. I'm going to be trying out the Cree Flex to test that out, but yeah, they're just not good. So I mean, nobody makes filament style bulbs. Yes, you can get like the heat sink style LEDs, the old school, original LEDs, but those bulbs aren't good. So we'll be rolling out a full suite of Satco 3K, 3500, and 4000 Kelvin bulbs here shortly.
Hey Matt, what's the status of the new HOA? And
there really isn't one. So I do whatever I want. It's great. That's why right now we've got dirt piled everywhere in a ruined septic tank.
I unsubscribed you from the Harbor Hills mailing list. One came in the other day. It's like I should keep him on this list just to anger him. But I removed you. You're good to go now. Mig Cow says I can make better steaks on the grill at home. Not worth it for me to go to Outback and other places.
Yeah, well, certainly over those places. It's hard to beat some like real legit steak, places like Del Frisco's or certain places across the country that make amazing steak. But yeah, I agree.
Have you been to Burns in Tampa?
I haven't, but I do want to go.
You need to go.
Really badly.
Yeah, I told Manny he made reservations, but he's like 3 months out now. It takes a little while. Grant wants to know what makes Milwaukee better over, let's say, Snap-on, Matco, or Dewalt.
Well, Snap-on, everything Snap-on makes in that realm is junk. I don't know why anybody would buy that. They don't even make the stuff. It's terrible. Same thing, Matco. It's not what they specialize in. I mean, Milwaukee specializes in this stuff, or these companies are just going and having it contract manufactured, and they just don't. How are you going to beat somebody when they have infinite resources that TTI and Milwaukee has? So I think those are poor examples. I think there are some niche stuff like some Flex, some Festool, some even certain Dewalt, certain Makita, certain Bosch that their tool versus individual tool. There's some benefits, but I would anytime I ever see like all these guys using the Snap-on junk, like at different shops, I'm like, this thing's terrible. I pick it up and you can just tell it's junk. So I think that you want to stay with the brands that have the money, and Milwaukee is clearly the most industry focused. They are deep into like just seeing what they did with the random orbital and who they sent it to and how they followed up with it, of all the different professionals that they've leveraged their knowledge and abilities. It's I think Milwaukee is widening the gap every day.
We have some F1 feedback here. People are chiming in. There's spending caps now on all the teams this year. I guess like a salary cap in other sports. New car, new regs this year have made it more interesting.
Why don't they be interesting? How about they just build whatever they want to build? So the stupid the spoiler has to be within 3 millimeters. It's just dumb.
It actually changed a lot this season. Even playing field, blah blah blah.
That's what everybody
says.
They
got parity now.
Yeah, sure they do.
I know you hated the sound of the S55. Have you looked into AWE Gen 2, which was released relatively recently? Totally revamps the sound.
Well, I don't think they make it for the M2 though. I'll have to ask Jesse, but I think that's only for M3.
Hefe with an H. Interesting. Question. M2 comp versus GT4.
Oh, your GT4. Come on.
There you go. Didn't even need the rest of the
nonsense. Yeah, not even close.
All right. I currently wash my car with a hose connection to my water softener. Do you still recommend a deionized setup, or would this be the same? From John C. in the chat.
Hose connection to his what?
To my water softener.
No, totally different. Water softener doesn't remove chemical content. It's just, it softens it removes certain chemicals, but still leaves plenty of mineral content behind. So you would need a deionizer in combination with you'd still need a deionizer if you wanted to be spot free.
F Calibro 23. Hey Matt, what's your opinion on the Dynaudio 18s with the Blue Sound node?
Dynaudio 18
with the Blue Sound node.
Oh, sub 18S. Maybe he's talking
18S.
about
Yeah, sorry.
the subwoofer.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. The 18S is the one that's designed, has a crossover, built-in, auto crossover for the LYDs and the cores, so the studio monitors. The Sub 6 is the same sub, but has grills. The Sub 18S doesn't. The Sub 6 has the crossover built in for all the home speakers. But yeah, it's fantastic. Love that sub so much.
Jeffrey Robert chimes in the chat, says the Burns Porterhouse 4.2 is life changing.
Yeah, I want that.
There you go. Let's see from Kevin in the chat. What is it like when you stop carrying a product? For example, was P&S upset when you stopped carrying Beadmaker? Do you deal with any companies that require minimum yearly orders?
No, I'm sure they're not happy, but that's part of the discussion up front, with everybody. Hey, I'm going to come and go and move, and they, they don't really say much. They don't say it to me because we've had that conversation in the beginning generally.
Mm-hmm. We don't carry all their products for a reason. And
yeah.
We move on sometimes.
Yeah, so no, there's no commitments to buy any specific amount, and that's part of the requisite. Is that, hey, I think this could go well, and it's up to you to continue to be the best. And if I find something different, then I gotta move on. Same thing with my own stuff. If I find something better, I'll punt it and move on.
Hey, Matt, are there any Mercedes that you would consider owning?
No, none. No interest. I don't want some baby automatic with the terrible traction, terrible rear end. Although the C63 or the C60 whatever AMG Black is pretty cool. I like that car, but again, it's a freaking automatic. Terrible.
Morgan says poker is enjoyable to watch, though boring to others.
Yeah, I do enjoy watching that World Series, or sometimes it's interesting to me to watch. I don't know why. That's also good napping TV. But again, have no interest in doing it.
See, no more F1 talk. They've given up on F1 here. Baseball is not boring. Some people.
Baseball is insanely boring.
First from Puerto Rico says, I played baseball during high school, and definitely playing it is totally different than watching it. Agreed. If I wasn't on the field playing as a catcher like I did, it was boring.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't understand. When I was a kid, it was everything to me. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Watch all kinds of games, all-star games, stuff, and I have no interest.
I was a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
He was awesome. Let's see. The GT is a beautiful car. Is he talking about a Mercedes there?
Yeah, AMG GT. Yeah, I think that car's too big. Like the hood is weird to me. It's giant. Automatic. Freaking automatic.
More steak talk here. Been to Charlie's in Tampa. I went there for my birthday a few years ago.
I've never been to Charlie's. We tried to go a couple weeks ago. I know it's legit.
Yeah, that's good.
But maybe I have. But if I had, it's 20 years ago.
It's right there at West Shore as you're getting off. And Megan and I went there for a birthday in 2018. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed it. Haven't been to Burns, but the go-to for all our family birthdays is Capitol Grill. You've been there, right?
Yeah, Capitol Grill's okay. I mean, I much prefer Del Frisco's or Ruth's Chris. I don't know. Something about Ruth's Chris just works for me.
I like Ruth's Chris as well. Let's see. You just need to be smart enough to understand the game inside the game to understand baseball. The common man doesn't get it.
Oh, I get it.
That's funny. That's our buddy Dan up in Minnesota. I guess he's watching the Twins today.
I get it, but it's boring as crap.
Ooh, here we go. This is a good question for you from Chris in the chat. What is the general length of a good nap? There's probably
good would be like an hour and a half. Good solid death sleep.
Longer than that, you wake up.
Out
of it.
I don't give a crap. I just sleep as long as I possibly can. If I can pull 3 hours into that equation, I'm down.
But no power naps.
Generally not. I really want a couch in an office here somewhere. That's what I really want.
All right, here we go. Here's Martin asked a good question about the whole Mercedes thing. When it comes, let's say you were being driven in a car. Would you rather be driven in a 7 Series BMW than an S-Class Mercedes?
S-Class Mercedes, yep.
There you go. So driving versus riding makes a difference.
Yeah, yep.
Jeffrey agrees. Ruth's Chris is the go-to. Good call there.
Still, the best steak I've ever had was Del Frisco's in Boston.
I've never been to a Del Frisco's. Morton's used to be pretty decent. They had one in Jacksonville. I went there one time. Morgan says, watching Matt and or Mike doing house/garage projects are much more enjoyable to watch than actually do myself.
Yeah, tell me about it. See what's happening here? All these calls blocked, block. This is like the last. Yeah,
That's a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocked. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 blocked in the last. Well, it looks like they kept calling over and over and over again. So that I'm telling you that. Do you have AT&T or Verizon?
Verizon.
They probably have something similar, but the AT&T Call Protect app, and then I subscribed to the. Like, look at all these calls that spam, fraud. Spam. It's just insane. And I finally called and yelled at this network capital funding. I was like, why do you guys call me 5 times a day? For whatever reason, I try to block them, but they just keep coming back. Block them again. So it's cleaned up my life so much, man. It's $3.99 a month. And the advantage when you do that, so when you pay for it, you can set up all these other things: telemarketers, surveys, political calls, nonprofit calls, block. Account services, blocked.
Everyone.
Private calls, blocked. Everything's blocked. Unknown callers, I do allow those. Spam risk blocked, fraud risk blocked, and then I'm building my infrastructure of blocked lists: Breeze Funding, CRC, IM offices, Instant Florida, Loan Depot, all these people blocked.
I've gotten a bunch of spam texts recently, and I don't understand why that started.
Yeah, this is beautiful. It's magical. It's $3.99 a month. It's changed my life. Like, it got so much that like my phone would be ringing all day. Then it was pointless to even have my phone, vibrating because I never even look at it. Might as well just leave it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah. This one, that's actually my phone number. And it makes it look like that's my number. And I got a text from that number. Which Tommy told me was a Verizon thing one day, like everyone got one from their own number, which is a little scary. These people call me Dr. Haynes. Maybe I should answer them, though. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I like this blocking business. This is good. It's cleaned up my life a lot.
Dylan says the S-Class also has massaging seats. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he doesn't have that.
You can get a cooler back there too. Some chilled Perrier, or some delicious sparkling water.
Put your Grey Poupon back there in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nate wants to know: is there any update on the jobs Matt mentioned he'll be hiring in the last podcast? I don't see them on the website yet. I think you mentioned hiring a helper, like for Tommy and for me, and no, we don't.
Just send me a resume, and we'll figure out where you fit.
We have lots of them we're looking through.
Yeah, if we don't find the right people, then I'll put it out there and explain what we're looking for.
Jeffrey Robert wants to know, Matt, have you ever driven a B7 Alpina?
No, I don't have any interest. That's like an old man car. Weird old man car.
Let's see. Somebody in OG is saying for T-Mobile, dial #662#.
Who the heck is T-Mobile?
To enable it, and it's free.
T-Mobile's the same thing that people have?
Let's see. T-Mobile retrofection. T-Mobile leaked my personal information. Someone's been trying to apply credit cards under my name.
Isn't T-Mobile like what you get at Walmart?
I don't know. I had T-Mobile for a long time back in the day.
You did?
Yeah. I didn't get it at Walmart. They bought whoever I was with
that
before.
Walmart's the other one. What's that one called?
Costco?
No, Walmart's the one that you see like that's green. It's called like.
I
don't know. Like you have AT&T or Verizon. Why would you have anything else?
Dan says he needs to call you about a coupler problem he's having. What's the phone number?
Blocked. It's 1-800-blocked.com.
Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's look ahead to the calendar. I was asked to make an announcement about the OG trip that's coming up, because that's coming now. It's next month.
Mm-hmm.
So OG Smokies, you have it on your calendar.
It's the 22nd to the 25th.
Okay, 22nd through 25th, Sunday through.
Yeah, don't come and bother me early. I'm going to be there, hopefully in blissful driving euphoria, And so yeah, Don't
22nd through 25th. It's on the Facebook group. It's a pinned post. There's a dinner you can register to be involved in. I forget which night that is, but that's in the store. I think that's all we got today. We'll be back next week for sure.
I got my carbon ceramics for my M3 showed up. You're really excited to see that invoice roll through. Yeah, it's good. My M3 is going to be back here in a couple hours. Mike's went to get it. And then I can start driving it because the PPF is done. I'm going to coat it and start putting some parts on it.
And will there be, I guess there won't be a rage polishing. Somebody asked if there's going to be any more rage polishing. They wanted to see that.
Straight talk. Straight talk. That's it.
Cricket, Boost Mobile.
Yeah,
Cricket.
who has all this? Why would you get this stuff?
U.S. Cellular, T-Mobile and Sprint merged.
Yeah, two of the most garbage companies ever became one. That's great.
Jeffrey says T-Mobile is legit strong network in Florida. There you go.
Really? I don't believe that. I had Sprint like first. Remember, Sprint was like the big dog, you know. Then AT&T. I've had AT&T since the iPhone transition. But yeah, that's funny. I don't know why I look down on these as white trash. Not even fancy. They're probably great. I don't know why.
All right, last question here from Rob. For Destination OG, do you plan to include Milwaukee lawn and garden tools like their new mower?
How the heck would I do that? I'm not cutting the grass.
That's part of the deal. When you stay at the house, you have to cut the grass.
I don't cut the grass. Why would I want them to cut the grass?
Whoever borrows your house for money, they have to cut the grass.
No, I don't want them cutting the grass. I'm going to have grass people cut the grass. I don't want to do that. Yeah, no thanks.
We're missing a chance.
Yeah,
there.
definitely not. No.
All right.
We'll have an Ego leaf blower there to blow off your car, but that's about it.
There you go.
There will be no yard tools. There will be no hose and shovels and rakes. None of that. I don't want any of that.
Track phone? I don't know track phone. I haven't heard of that one. This is good. I'm learning a lot today. I appreciate the knowledge that's out there.
You're going to go shop for a better deal on some janky service. It drops calls every 5 minutes. Yeah. U.S. Cellular. That seems like it's got your name written all over. There he is. I got him. I'll see you guys next week.
We'll be back. Thank you all.
Later.